Let's see how to install Ubuntu 24.04 with desktop environment using WSL or Windows Subsystem for Linux. First, we need to make sure that we have WSL installed on the computer. If you're not sure about that, you can always right-click here on the Windows Start icon, then open your terminal, and in the terminal you can run WSL-V, which will check the version of WSL. If you have WSL installed, you will see the version that you have installed. Otherwise, you will get a message letting you know that you don't have WSL installed. Luckily, it's really easy to install. In case you don't have it, you simply run WSL like this and it will install WSL for you. As you can see, for me, I already have WSL, so I don't have to install it. Once we make sure that we have WSL installed, we also have to make sure that we have the Ubuntu distribution installed on top of WSL. Now, to list the distributions that we currently have installed, we can always run WSL-L for list. And if I run this, I can see that for me currently I only have Docker desktop, so I don't have Ubuntu. So what we need to do is to install Ubuntu. So to install Ubuntu, what I'm going to do is WSL-install space Ubuntu. And this will install Ubuntu on top of WSL. So let's run this command. And now it's downloading Ubuntu and it will install it on top of my WSL instance. It won't take too long, maybe a few minutes. Okay, so Ubuntu was downloaded and now it is being installed. Once again, this won't take too long. Okay, and the installation is finished. It's now launching Ubuntu. Ubuntu was installed. We now need to provide the username for the new Ubuntu installation. I'll just go with my name. Then I need to provide a password, so let me provide one. And I need to retype it. And that's it. We now have Ubuntu installed on top of WSL. I can always close my terminal. Then I can open the Windows Start menu. And here I'm going to look for Ubuntu. And we can see it here at the top of the list, Ubuntu as an application. So let's open this. And we are back in Ubuntu. The command line is now working perfectly fine. What I want to do next is to install the desktop environment. So to do that, I'm first going to update my package list. This can be done with the command sudo apt update, and I need to provide my password, and this will make sure that my package list is up to date. The update is done, and now we can move on. So we're going to install a simple utility that will help us install the desktop environment, and this is called taskcell. So to install it, I'm going to run sudo apt install taskcell. Let's run this. And we need to approve, so Y and enter. Now that taskcell is installed, we need to run it. And to do that, I'm going to simply run sudo taskcell. Let me increase it a bit. And as you can see, this shows a small list from which we can install some additional software for our Ubuntu system. Among the options, we have several options for desktop environments. But from my experience, most of them don't really work. They gave me all kinds of problems when I actually tried to connect to the desktop environment. The only one that proved to be really reliable and worked every single time was KDE. So this is the one I'm going to install here. So I'm going to use space to select the KDE Plasma option. And this one is really easy to install and really works reliably. Now I can hit Tab, then Enter, and the KDE Plasma desktop environment is now being installed. This is quite a big install and it will take, about 10 to 20 minutes. I'll be back when it's done. Okay, so it actually took quite a bit longer than what I thought it would, but eventually it's finally done. What we need to install next is a remote desktop server, and the one that we're going to install is called XRDP. So let's go ahead and install it. So sudo apt install XRDP, and we need to approve, so Y, and it's done. Next, we need to find the IP address of our Ubuntu virtual machine inside WSL, and to do that I'm going to run IP-BRA, and here we can see its IP address. Now I'm going to open the Windows Remote Desktop Client. So from here I'm going to look for Remote, and here it is, Remote Desktop Connection. And I'm going to copy the IP address of my Ubuntu machine and paste it here as the target for the connection. And let's connect. And we get this window, and let's expand it to full screen. And I need to provide my Ubuntu username and also my password. And let's click on OK. And we need to provide our password again. And our Ubuntu system with the desktop environment is up and running and ready for you. The thing is that at the moment we don't have any web browser, so if I look for one, I can click on the Internet category, and as you can see, we don't have a web browser. So what I'm going to do is open this, the Software Center, and from the Software Center, I'm going to look for Chromium. And here is the Chromium web browser. So let's install this one, and we need to provide the password again, and this installation shouldn't take too long. Okay, and the installation is done. Let's now look for it in the Applications menu. So here, under the Internet category, we now have the Chromium web browser. Let's start it, and there you go. A fully functional desktop environment with a web browser.